What's up guys, Houndish here, and today it's time for the weekly reset in Destiny 2 this Tuesday, January 30th. And this week we've got the launch of a new weekly quest for the season in the form of Riven's Wishes, but on top of that we'll see the launch of Moments of Triumph, plus we do have some new patch changes for the game, so we'll cover all of those things, and on top of that we have the Eververse refresh, and hopefully there'll be some interesting items there, plus we'll cover vendors like Banshee and Ada 1, as well as key rewards and unlocks for the week, farmable exotics, featured lost sectors, and plenty more in the video. So as always guys, I hope this one is useful, and if it is, definitely get subscribed for more Destiny 2 content, but without further delay, let's get into it. And getting into the updates for this week, initially, Destiny 2 on Twitter did share that we are going to see some new Mass Effect styled armor pieces come into the game on February 13th. So these will be through the Eververse store as always, although they do add that we're going to be able to pick up some of the items in celebration of the collaboration with the partners at BioWare, which include the Enhanced Defense Ghost Shell, the Alliance Scout Frigate Ship, and Alliance Dropship, available for all players at no cost. So some free rewards, and I'd imagine an Eververse purchase for the armor set right there coming up on February 13th. Not something I was anticipating, but of course there is a new Mass Effect game this year, so let us know if that's something of interest to you guys. And up next, we get patch notes for the update today, which is 7.3.4. And so firstly, for Crucible and Countdown, they say heavy ammo spawn time has increased from 60 to 90 seconds. On top of that, the round timer has been reduced from 90 to 75 seconds, and the scores required to win increased from 4 to 5. But they've also updated the spawn policy for Countdown and fixed an issue where sudden death rounds didn't abide by elimination rules. Then for Trials of Osiris, they fixed an issue where a Gilding Triumph couldn't be completed before claiming the Flawless title. And competitive, they said they've added a second tier of weekly challenges that award Ascendant alloys, so worth looking out for those. But then for gameplay and investment, for armor, they say the rare armor sets, the Gumshoe Gumption, Midnight Oil, and Inspector released alongside Witch Queen, or Inspector which released alongside Witch Queen, and how available for armor synthesis. And they say this unlocks access to players that might have missed them after reaching the soft power cap, and Synthweave is still needed to apply their designs to armor pieces, so that's an interesting one. But for weapons, they fixed an issue where the Palmyra B rocket launcher wasn't appearing during inspections, and one where some shaders applied to the Vengeful Whisper bow weren't working correctly. But also in the update, they increased the Glimmer cap to 500,000, so that's now in the game, and they reduced the number of seasonal challenges required by the Wish Fulfilled final challenge from 66 to 63. On top of that though, they say activation of a lobby in Fireteam Finder no longer creates a new listing, and they fixed an issue where spawning in using the highly commendable transmat effect would cause movement animations not to play. That's a weird one. But also an issue where the Season of the Hunt node showed a placeholder icon on the timeline. So a bunch of general fixes right there, a couple of positives I suppose, and give us your thoughts about them down below. And now as we get into the game, we should mention initially, Moments of Triumph is now active for 2023, or the Lightfall year, which of course is leading over into 2024. But if you want to work on the title for this year, or picking up any of the unique rewards, we can now jump in and start checking that stuff out. So let us know if it's something you'll still be working on down in the comment section. On top of that though, Riven's Wishes are now available as well, and this is the new weekly quest we've been discussing. So Bungie say earn Riven's Wish tokens by completing weekly pursuits from Mara, which can be turned in for a valuable reward like an exotic, deep sight weapons, and mementos. Riven has left final instructions with the Queen, so go speak to Mara Sov to learn more. And obviously, in order to do that, we'll need to go visit Riven, or Mara, should I say. I looked at the title right there, but Mara's in the helm, and of course we can see the Wish token as a reward, as well as enhancement cores right there, so certainly something to check out, and let us know if you'll be visiting the Queen down in the comment section. And up next, let's take a look at the Eververse store for the week. As always, we will focus on the Bright Dust stuff, but initially we've got the Splish Splash exotic emote available for 3,250 Bright Dust, so we'll take a quick look at that one. Also on the front page though, we've got the Western Front ornament for the Monte Carlo, actually a pretty nice ornament right there, so maybe one to pick up for 1,250 Bright Dust. And then we've got the Warsat Arrival Transmat effect for 450 Bright Dust. We'll have another quick preview of that one. And additionally for shaders, we've got Lucid available initially, and this one is 300 Bright Dust. Sorry, the character is flickering right there as I load into the tower. On top of that though, we've got the Irradiant Charoid. Took me a moment to read that one, from back in Season of the Haunted. So pretty bright one right there, available for 300 Bright Dust as well.
Over to the main Bright Dust section though, we've got the Cozy Campfire multiplayer emote from this season available this week, so if you fancy a bit of that action, we can pick it up for 4,250 Bright Dust, kind of expensive. There's also the VR Exploration, a legendary emote available this week in the store as well for 700 Bright Dust, and then we've got the Firebreak Shell exotic ghost here from back in Season of the Splicer, kind of an interesting thing for 2,850 Bright Dust. And then there is the Wanderer's Wings exotic ship here, so we'll have a look at the trail on that one, and that one's up for 2,000 Bright Dust. But then we've got the Cosmos Starling exotic sparrow for 2,500 Bright Dust this week, so another quick trail preview for that one. And then up next we've got the Kronos X, I don't even know how you say that one, but it's the No Time to Explain ornament from back in Season of Defiance, kind of Vex themed right there, so that's a cool one for 1,250 Bright Dust. And then there is the Crow Projection, Ghost Projection available this week. Once again, that one is 1,500 Bright Dust. But for the second page of featured shaders, initially, we've got Safety First right here. Once again, all of these are 300 Bright Dust. And then there is the Chrome Stock, one that we've seen many times inside of the Eververse store, but also the Iridescent Coral, another pretty common one inside of the store right there. Of course, these are pretty old shaders. But on top of that, there is Welded Brass, which is kind of a nice one available this week too. So let us know if you'll pick those up. But finally, we've got the Reef Oracle Transmat effect. All of the Transmat effects are 450 Bright Dust. On top of that, there is the Minotaur effects available this week in the store as well, which is pretty cool. And finally, the Swirling Leaf entrance from back in Season of the Seraph. So let us know if you plan to pick anything up from the Eververse store this week. Over to Banshee though, for the featured weapons at the moment, we've got the Lunar Latter 4B bow, which has got no distractions and headstone. Also the Iota Draconis fusion rifle with Under Pressure and Cornered. And then we've got True Prophecy with Opening Shot and Rampage, as well as the Legal Action 2, which has got Underdog and Wellspring. But finally, the Palmera B rocket launcher with Surplus and Frenzy. So maybe a couple of things worth checking out from Banshee right there, but keep in mind the weapons and roles will change throughout the course of the week. Our final vendor visit for today, though, is Shader 1 down here in the annex. And we've got the mixed armor sets from back in the Tangled Shore back in the day. So maybe some older stuff that some players may want to pick up. But for featured shaders, we've got Gold Leaf available up first, which I don't think has been sold a ton of times. All of these are 10,000 Glimmer. There's also the Arctic Dreamscape available this week as well. And finally, we've got the Dead Orbit Resurrection if you fancy an older faction shader, so let us know if you'll grab any of those. Up next though, for the Nightfall this week, we're going to see Lake of Shadows, and the featured weapon is the Undercurrent, which of course is the new grenade launcher for the season. We also have Grandmaster Nightfalls available now, so we can pick up the Adept variant of that if we want to. But otherwise, for featured rewards this week, we'll see Operation Seraph Shield as the featured exotic mission, so if you need to pick up Revision 0 or any of the Season of the Seraph weapons, you can dive into that one. And then for the featured raid and dungeon activities, firstly, we've got the Deepstone Crypt raid featured. All of the rewards there should be farmable this week, including the Eyes of Tomorrow rocket launcher, so that'll be a good one to jump into. But also we have the Pit of Heresy dungeon featured this week as well. And very finally for the Lost Sectors, for today we've got Scavenger's Den on the EDZ dropping exotic arms. Then on January 31st it'll be Skydock in the EDZ dropping chest pieces. But for February 1st we've got the Quarry dropping exotic helmets, and then we move over to the Dreaming City with the Felion's Rest on February 2nd dropping exotic legs. Bay of Drowned Wishes will be featured on the 3rd, dropping exotic arms, and then we'll see Chamber of Starlight on February 4th dropping exotic chest pieces, and Perdition on February 5th dropping exotic helmets. So good luck in the hunt if you are grabbing anything from those this week. But otherwise guys, for today, that's everything we have to round up for the weekly reset. So let us know if you're diving in to check out Riven's wishes or wrap up moments of triumph for the year. And if you've enjoyed the video today, a rating below very much helps us out on the channel. Once again, also get subscribed if you want to be kept up to date with all the Destiny 2 news and info about new content coming down the road. But otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in today, and whatever you get up to, I will catch you all very soon.